And now we begin the recording. Okay. Let us continue with the read-through of Volume 3 of Dot Hack, Another Birth, entitled Outbreak. We're almost done. We're over halfway through. We should get done pretty early, and if so, we'll start Volume 4. And then after Volume 4, we're going to start a Magic the Gathering novel. And it's a one-off novel, too, so that's extra good. Excuse me. Okay. Whoop. Let's see. There we go. Ba-bum. Oh, right. We're also pausing this. I said, okay. I said pausing. Alright, and then we're going to play some lovely low poly music. If my fucking sound card will cooperate. Come on. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck is happening? Hardware, no! Okay, that's doing a little better now. We just have to fix the sound. Scuffy wuffies. In my stream, surely you jest. Ugh. There we go. We're gonna pause that so it doesn't grate on the ears. And then we're gonna open sound settings back up. Hop, up-o. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Let us begin. Sure would help if I opened the book and cracked my energy drink. I'm drinking the Kiwi Guava the Pepsi product energy drink. I can't remember the name. Oh my god. Oh boy. Technology's incredible. Old technology sucks. Good lord. Okay. I'm gonna crack my Kiwi Guava Celsius. I keep forgetting the name of it. Good shit. Okay. Let's take a remind. Let's do a reminder of. Oh, we were in the middle of a chapter. That's what it was. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so when last we left off, good old Akira here, aka Black Rose, is trying to find out more about the Epitaph of Twilight, which is an epic poem written by Emma Wieland. And her stalker, I will call him at this point, named Hagia, who will not leave her the fuck alone, is helping her decipher the Epitaph of Twilight along with her other friend. Where is she? Asaoka. Okay, so looking at them all spread out together like that, I had the feeling that if you looked at them closely, you'd be able to pick up on something. First off, the Epitaph of Twilight, Hagia said. How much do you know about it? It's an epic poem written by Emma Wieland, I said. In short, it's about a world being ruined by a wave, Asaoka said, picking up where I faltered, and about adventurers searching for the legendary Twilight Dragon, who is said to be able to save the world. Is that about it? She summed it up nicely and concisely, I felt. That might not be enough, Hagia said, with a serious expression on his face. Oh, Mr. Stalker gets serious. Looking first at Asaoka, then me. The world of the shadowless sprites is violated by the calamity called the Abominable Wave, and it's on the verge of destruction. The wave only advances gradually, but there is no clear way to fight against it. Under these desperate circumstances, Aperion, King of Light, and Helba, Queen of the Dark, decide to form an alliance to oppose the wave together. I fucking love that song. It's Queen of the Dark by Coheed and Cambria. Wonderful song, and a wonderful album. Great song. Great album. Listening to Hagia's words, I called to mind those we had forgot already. Skaith, Innis, Magus, Fitchel, each of them had a definite physical existence that could be fought any number of ways. There was a legend in that world, Hagia continued, that when the wave appeared, 3 people who did bear shadows would set off in search of the Twilight Dragon. Searching for the dragon is the only way they know to oppose the wave, I murmured. Hagia nodded deeply at my words, just shaking his head up and down. Thus, the 3 who have shadows, 2 half-sprites, and 1 human, travel to the Wavering Peninsula at the edge of the world. Supporting them part of the way are Feely the white and Bith the black. What a weird name for sprites. I cocked my head. I've never heard those names before, and I said, yeah, Hagia said, the world was built based on Fragment, which was made almost entirely by Harold Horwick, right? That's what they say on the BBS, I agreed. And the worldview of Fragment was designed based on the Epitaph of Twilight. I nodded. So it would seem. At that time, Harold might have chosen which information to adopt or reject, Hagia said. I mean, well, I can't say anything about my reasons for thinking this right now, but there may not necessarily be a need for all of the Epitaph to have been absorbed into the game. That may be true, I consented for the moment, but in that case, why did Harold import the worldview of the Epitaph into the game in the first place, she thought to herself. When I gave voice to the question, Hagia laughed, because Harold was in love with Emma. Yeah. In love? Not expecting that word at all, I found I had raised my voice wildly. Yep, Hagia confirmed, it was love at first sight. Unlike you, Hagia, who is a creep at first sight. Like a fucking dick. Excuse me. Say what? She thought to herself. I'd known that Emma Wieland was an author who was famous on the net, and that Harold was a programmer, so I assumed that he'd just unilaterally yearned for her. I was surprised to hear that they had actually met. I was always under the assumption that, it was kind of obvious that they met. I don't know. Emma isn't a historical figure from as far back in the past as you might have thought, Hayami. Asaoka said. She must have noticed my expression since she began telling me about Emma's personal history. Emma Wieland lost her mother at an early age. When she was 18, her father also died. His will named her uncle... What? His will named her uncle, as her guardian. But this uncle, with his eyes on her inheritance, proposed to take her as his adopted daughter. Having grown up around her family's historical winery, Emma was not just any high-class girl. Quick-witted, she entered a nursing school in order to support herself until the age of 20, when she would receive her inheritance. However, in the morning of her 20th birthday, the strain of her intense workload caught up with her and she started coughing up blood. Did she end up dying? I asked, straight-faced, and Asaoka interrupted her serious monologue with a smile. No, she said. It didn't get far enough to put her in serious danger, and her condition greatly improved after a while. However, at the recommendation of a doctor, Emma spent a while at a health resort in southern France. While there, she had a mysterious experience that would influence the course of the rest of her life. A mysterious experience? I asked, intrigued. Asaoka answered my questions patiently, without making a single nasty face. That's right, from that point onward, Emma devoted herself to Steiner's anthroposophy. Yeah, anthroposophy. Anthro-whoosits? I love the whoosits. I need to use that more. I've been using, whenever someone does a... whenever someone sounds like a really long syllable word, I'm just like, Gesundheit. It's one of my favorite bits. I felt like I was in some upper level class in school that was way over my head. Hagia tried to explain. Rudolf the Red-Nosed Steiner was a philosopher from Austria. Anthroposophy is a philosophy that attempts to explain spiritual and mental phenomena using human knowledge, or something like that. Asaoka took over. For example, take those ghosts you don't like. Even they have some reason for existing, like something they regret that they want to tell someone. Finding out those reasons is part of anthroposophy. Harold pursued the question of the true nature of people and computers, Hagia said, bringing the discussion back around. And he apparently thought anthroposophy held some clues to the answer. So it's through anthroposophy that Emma and Harold are connected, you see. How can I see if I can't even understand half the words you're saying, she thought to herself. Did Emma and Harold fall in love because of this anthroposophy? No. What? Now I was even more confused. Harold was the only one who fell in love, Hagia said. Emma was 20 at the time, and she had an older lover. She had an older lover. I sat back. Maybe what Emma loved, Hagia said, wasn't Harold, but Harold's talents. Oh yeah. Just his talents, huh? I said. So did Harold not know that, or did he pursue her even though he knew it was futile? Hagia shook his head. It actually might not have been. Seeing the question in my eyes, he continued. If it was futile, do you think he would have gone to all that effort to include Emma's epic in his game? Yeah, probably. Like, if someone is obsessed with someone enough, even if they deny you, they're gonna fucking go after you. Case in point, motherfucking Hagia, you bitch. Where are we? Good point, she thought to herself. Not really. You know, Asaoka said, I've been thinking about that. If all he did was base the game's worldview on Emma's epic poem, I don't think you would have gotten into the situation you're in. What do you mean? I said. Well, it's a very unusual story, Asaoka said. There's something peculiar about it. Peculiar? I chewed on Asaoka. Oh, peculiar, comma. I chewed on Asaoka's words, thinking it over. Hagia spoke up again. I think maybe Harold based the world on the epitaph of Twilight and then included something beyond that. He tapped the Harold's Note printouts with his finger. Harold's Note. Quote, and so I shall name her Aura. Without you, she would not exist. The shining girl, Aura. We will entrust her with our will. Our future is in her hands. She is our... Harold's Note 2. I must speak with Morgana, to go where she is. The living flesh poses a hindrance, but I must go, for our Aura. Emma, please give me a little more courage. Here, the part where it talks about the girl, I think it makes more sense if you think of Harold as the father. The father. What is it? This is... I can't remember the name of the dad or the last name of the family from Home Alone. Oh, here, that I got it. This is Mr. McAllister, the father. Oh, man. Hagia said he's entrusting his own child with his will and his future. It becomes clear, right? I doubted my ears hearing crazy talk like that coming from Hagia. Aura is Harold's child? How can some computer-generated girl be the child of a flesh-and-blood man? Pfft. Girl. It's not time for that yet. You ain't in the age of waifus. Harold loved Emma, Hagia said. Isn't it only natural to want to have a child with the one you love? Not really. I never want children, but that's beside the point. But why just in a game? I started to say, but then a thought struck me. Maybe Emma was no longer around. Hagia confirmed my suspicion. Emma was in an accident and left this world. I don't know if this part is true or just a rumor, but they say it happened when she was on her way to meet up with Harold. It was hours before news of Emma's death reached Harold. He simply continued waiting for her under the boughs of a large ginkgo tree. Ginkgo tree on top of a hill. So that would be why a child of his and Emma's would have to be a virtual one, I said. Probably, Hagia said. But even considering that, we still don't know what Morgana is. Even the wording. I suspect it's something hostile, but that name doesn't show up in the epitaph of Twilight. And if you consider the words that follow, they could mean that Harold's no longer... You mean he somehow went from the real world into the game? That was the direction this crazy conversation was going. So I went right out and said it. And that explains his disappearance? Or, if you think about it from the point of view of the game, Hagia said, it was an appearance. It was an appearance, since something suddenly came there from outside that world. Something, I said. You mean player characters like us? I mean, we use computers to get inside the world. That's true, but I think when you're playing, your consciousness is actually within the game. That's a little reachy, in my opinion. I don't think so. But my body is outside, still moving, I said. Asaoka had sat silently pondering the issue, slowly murmured, perhaps both are possible. Huh? I love this batshit insanity. I love this world. Huh? You know, after Hagia mentioned the idea to me earlier, I gave it a great deal of thought, she said. Normally, it wouldn't be possible to really go inside a game, but after talking it over with Hagia, I started thinking that just maybe... She hesitated and looked me in the eye. I looked from her to Hagia and knew why she couldn't go on, so I took a deep breath and told Hagia what he needed to know. My little brother is one of the people who have fallen victim to this game. He fell into a coma while playing, and he's still in the hospital. Hagia was obviously surprised to hear it, but suddenly anyone's reaction to the news didn't matter to me anymore. Asaoka, would you continue? The words flowed more freely now, with nothing holding Asaoka back from saying whatever sprang to mind. Fumikazu's player character was in the game, but the real Fumikazu existed physically outside the game. He was in both worlds at the same time, and then, somehow, his mind and body got separated. I realized I had been holding my breath. You're thinking that's the reason he fell into a coma? There's no other way to make sense of it, is there? She said. Fuck, that was my fault. If it was just a normal game he was playing, it'd be impossible, but this is the world. Right, but impossible things have been happening, so maybe Asaoka isn't wrong, I thought. The question is, how? Yes, that's it, Asaoka said. I mean, it's not like everyone who comes into the game with from the outside world falls into a coma. That reminds me, Irka fell unconscious only after some kind of attack skill got used on him, right? Who? Oh, that's a typo. They meant to say Orca, I think. Oh, man. It's a full page, it's a 2-page spread of drawings of the 3 characters. Hagia's on the left, Akira's on the right, and Asaoka's supposed to be in the middle, but her fucking face is cut off by the inside of the page. And that's like as far as it goes. I think it just got cut off in the printing somehow. Oh, goodness. I mean, hey, this is Tokyo Pop we're talking about. Yeah, this was these books were published by Tokyo Pop of all things. I thought that was super cool. Okay. You mean Orca? Oh, it was intentionally wrong. Irka, Orca, anyway. You mean Orca, I said. That doesn't mean his mind is stuck in the game now because of some special power. And anyway, I don't know if Fumikazu had that attack used on him or not. Listen, Hagia, listen, get some help. Hagia said. Sorry for coming back to this, but Harold started out making a net game, right? I don't think he considers users as non-integral parts of the game. If something bad happened to a user because of the game, then there's a chance it could become an environment unfit to raise a child in. You mean a stoppage of game service? I said. Yeah, or even worse, if all the game's data gets erased, Hagia said, then fell into thought. Asaoka spoke up. Maybe something happened that even Harold didn't account for. Didn't account for? Hagia said. The coma victims, Asaoka said. It's natural to want to remove an unstable element, right? Maybe when Harold says in the note that he needs to speak with Morgana, it's because something had happened. It might be a virtual reality, but I'm sure the child had a will. It wasn't just born fully formed, it was programmed to develop. What's that called again? Artificial intelligence. AI? Hagia said. Not like our AI, the actual, conscious, fictional AI. That's it. That's what Kite heard Harold say. I thought, the ultimate AI, does that mean aura? In my mind, made a sudden leap. In that case, is Mia really matcha? Yeah, you got it. Mia is matcha. I can't remember the origins of matcha or Mia. I need to look that up at some point because I always forget. I couldn't completely follow what Asaoka and Hagia were saying, so I just kept quiet. Maybe the girl, Aura, started acting... This bitch... There we go. HIPAA compliant. The fuck? Alright. Ba. Oof, things are being slow this evening. What in the world? I may need to do a full scan and whatnot of my computer just to clean out some files and stuff. Oh my god, it hasn't even been an hour yet. I always underestimate how quickly I can get through books. Maybe the girl, Aura, started acting unpredictably or strangely in the game, Asaoka said. But like it or not, that doesn't establish any link with Morgana. First of all, according to what you told Asaoka, Hagia said, turning to me, isn't Aura our only current source of information? We can't meet with the game's creator, Harold. Skaith and the other things aren't exactly conversation partners, and we don't know what Morgana is, but Aura wants something. So she gets in contact with your friends, right? You mean she wants the segments? Or you mean she wants the segments, right? I said. That got a reaction out of Asaoka. Oh, you mean the red spheres that flew away after she got attacked by Skaith? If she gets those, you should be able to meet with her, right? Nope. Yes, that's right. You should be able to meet with her, question mark. I nodded, and I became certain that what we had to do now was defeat the wave that seemed to be holding Aura's segments hostage, and get them back to her. Some of what we'd said tonight had come from wild leaps of logic, but I felt in my gut that we weren't wrong. After that, we spent a while trying to analyze the events that happened in the game, but we weren't able to puzzle out anything from the contents of the Epitaph of Twilight. The hour grew late, and since we didn't want our parents to get worried about us, we'd been out... Oh, wait, whoa. The hour grew late, and since we didn't want our parents to get worried about us... Oh, okay, never mind. I replaced the entire word. Wow. The hour grew late, and since we didn't want our parents to get worried because we'd been out so long, we decided to adjourn our conversation. Hagia and I saw Asaoka off from the bus station, then started on our bikes in the same direction toward our homes. Ew, don't let him know where you live. That's fucking creepy. Don't let the bitch boy know where you live. That's fucking creepy. Okay, so doesn't look like. Okay, so my mic is still unmuted. That's good. Anyway, sorry. Wanted to make sure that using my emotes didn't mute my microphone again. I'm sorry for butting in, Hagia said as we rode. No, you're not. I shook my head. Hearing what you had to say today really helped out. If anything happens, call me anytime, Hagia said. I want to do what I can to help, but in truth, I was more than satisfied with the help he'd already provided. No, it's alright. I don't want to trouble you too much about this. Okay, Hagia said. And I don't want to add to your worries either. So I'll content myself with supporting you in my own way from a distance. Creep. He's getting a little better by I don't know. He still inserted himself into a whole ass conversation. Ugh. I don't know. I wasn't sure how to respond to that. You might be doing this for your brother's sake, he said, pedaling on. But I don't want you being reckless. Fuck you, dude. That's not your decision to make. If anything happened to you, ew, I'll be alright, I said. I've got allies I can count on, both there and here. Hagia's smile showed his relief. We'd reached the spot where our homeward paths parted, so we said our goodnights and went our separate ways. As I got closer to home, I couldn't help but feel like rushing. Yep, that's right. Couldn't help but feel like rushing. Even if the framework we developed to explain all the game's events was a vague one, I wanted to tell Kite about it right away, so I pedaled hard for the few blocks that remained. And that's the end of the chapter. The next chapter is Harold's Rule. Rule as in R-U-L-E. Well, I don't think there's a different spelling for rule as in length and rule as in governing body. I don't know. Either way. So much had happened in this one night that I felt like it had to last. So much had happened in this one night that I felt like it had lasted forever. No night I could remember since the day Fumikaze went away had felt this full. I was itching to tell Kite what I had discussed with Asaoka and Hagia, but when I entered the world soon after returning home, I couldn't help but remember how I parted from him in a huff over that Ryoko Terajima thing, mere hours before. Even though I knew Kite was logged in, I couldn't make myself go where he was. So instead of talking to him like I'd rushed home to do, I just stood alone in Fort Oath in my guise as Black Rose. Alright, so we're going to Fort Oath. That's the wrong one. There it is. Alright, let's see. Fort Oath it is. It's a very long segment without a... Bam. Ba-bum. So she should be in the center around there, I think. Right there. Because I think that's where the portal is. Where is it? In my guise as Black Rose, not doing anything at all. This is no time to be stubborn, Akira. I grabbed the FMD and plopped it down on the desk, leaving Black Rose just standing there, still logged in, and I leaned back in my chair. I stared at the ceiling. This isn't like her, I thought. But though I tried psyching myself up by telling myself that there was no use feeling this way, my words had no effect. The courage to see Kite had utterly deserted me. Oh my god. Then just when I'd started to entertain the thought of giving up for the night and trying again the next day, I heard the voice calling to Black Rose from the FMD. Hey! Hurriedly, Looking back down at the display, I saw the familiar figure of Balmung quickly donning the FMD again. I started talking to him. What? It was a rare thing indeed for Balmung to seek me out. Maybe there's an operation starting? Aren't you with him? Balmung asked. You mean Kite? I said. Right. It's not like we're together all the time, I said. What, you need him for something? No, nothing in particular, Balmung said. I just happened to see you standing here. No, nothing. Oh, I thought, looking at the sky. And all this time I could have been off talking to Kite about the purpose of the world if I'd just gone to him instead of thinking too much. This isn't like you, I said. It's not? Balmung tilted his head, puzzled. I turned toward him. It's not like you to come talk to me. I could say the exact thing to you, he said. Huh? This isn't like you. My heart skipped a beat. It was like Balmung had seen straight through the feelings I was repressing deep inside. Yeah, the way I've been acting right now is definitely not like Black Rose. Brooding alone and acting depressed was not her thing. But though that was true, I just can't... What? But though that's true, I just can't speak to Kite right now, she thought to herself. My silence must have bothered Balmung, since he looked worriedly at my face. Did something happen? He said. Not really, it's nothing, which means it's everything. I tried to talk tough, but my shaking voice kind of ruined the effect. Alright then, he said. See you around. Huh? Hey, wait a minute. The words just blurted out of me as Balmung turned to go. You're just gonna say alright and take off? Very poor choice of... Yeah, but you said nothing happened, right? I hadn't known Balmung very long yet. Maybe I wanted to tell him someone. Pick up on the mood, I said. What mood? Oh, no. Balmung gives me, like... If not autistic, never learned proper social... like... cues or whatever. Let's see. Girls' moods, okay? Look, even if something's happened, girls often do things like say nothing happened. Is that so? He raised an eyebrow. Yes, it is so, I said. Ugh. And Balmung's thick-headedness had annoyed me so much that I found myself telling him exactly why things had become awkward between me and Kite. Without even giving me any visual or vocal cues to show that he was following along, Balmung kept silent and just listened. He listened to how I couldn't help being angry, how I knew Kite had his own way of thinking, how I'd wasted so much time being angry for no reason. When I'd run out of things to say, Balmung suddenly spoke up. He's probably like, just fucking talk to him, you little bitch. Let me handle it. Never mind. I forgot about that. Let me handle it. He promised. Huh? If this were some anime or manga, it would be at this moment that my eyes would turn into tiny dots. Hey, the classic anime trope. Eh? What did he mean by let me handle it? And how did he propose to handle anything? It's not my forte, yeah, you can say that again. But I can patch things up between people. Or at least I should be able to, right? Since we're in this together. This isn't good for us to quarrel. Well, that's true, but my words trailed off. Something about the way he said quarrel rang warning bells. Does he think Kite is quarreling with me? I had a feeling Kite wasn't the kind of boy who'd let something like this get to him. In point of fact, I was pretty sure I was the only one bugged by this thing at all. As I hesitated to continue speaking, Balmung put his hand on my shoulder. Don't worry, he said. I'm not, I said. Though it was an automatic response, my heart was warm. Until this moment, I hadn't understood why Balmung had a title like the one that had been given to Orca. He had a sour expression, a cold demeanor, and it had seemed he was interested in nothing but the game. But now I was beginning to understand just a little that he not only had a... I was beginning to understand just a little that he was not only a powerful player character. He's someone who takes time to consider the world around him. That's the real reason why everyone respects him, I thought. And I bowed my head. Please, I have a feeling that my stubbornness is only making things worse. Right, Balmung said, then wait here for me. Huh? But Balmung immediately warped through the Chaos Gate, leaving me bewildered and dumbfounded. Hilarious. I love that Balmung just has turned into that, like, what's the term? The himbo-esque dumbass character. He's like, what's wrong? Got it. But he doesn't actually understand the situation. It's so good. Let me take a sippy. Okay. We could use flash mail to settle this rather than meeting face to face. How come he went to find Kite, I thought. Also finding it odd that he told me to wait here. But since that meant I couldn't go anywhere, I sat down in an out-of-the-way spot and waited. Sitting there in my chair in front of the computer, I adjusted the FMD and rested my chin on my hands. How long am I supposed to wait? I grumbled. After a couple minutes, I took off the FMD and went down to the kitchen and boiled some water to make hot cocoa. When I took the cup back up to my room, I saw on the display that Balmung had still not returned. Before me was just an ordinary scene of player characters coming and going. And I only half watched the screen as I sipped my cocoa. But I still managed to notice when a familiar player character appeared at the Chaos Gate. Kite! Hurriedly putting the FMD on, I ran over to him. Maybe Balmung did something, I thought. Black Rose, he said as I ran up. We exchanged greetings, but I still couldn't bring myself to look directly at his face. Hey, Kite said, trying to dispel the mood. Earlier? No, it's okay. I interrupted him quickly. I guess I shouldn't have talked that way earlier. Yeah, don't sweat it. Kite looked at me dubiously. Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean, what do you mean? Kite concluded. Kite considered. Oh, you mean Terajima. Oh, this poor fucking child. I was confused. Isn't that why Balmung told you to come here? Balmung? No, I just thought you might still be here, so I came to check. Kite said. You were mad before, so... What's going on? Where did Balmung go, then? What was that about Balmung? Kite asked. Well, you haven't seen him? No. Huh. I was sure he was going to meet you. Where did Balmung go? Did something happen to him? Kite asked worriedly. Just then, the familiar winged figure warped in behind him. I blinked. Balmung spied us and walked over. Whoops, sorry. Balmung spied us and walked over. Turning to Kite, he said curiously, "Why are you here?" This is a fucking comedy setup, I swear. Enough already, I thought. Please, just don't say anything stupid. Why? What the hell did you go to do? I cried. Like I said, Balmung explained evenly, I went to try to patch things up. Patch things up? Kite interjected curiously. Weren't the two of you quarreling? Balmung said. Kite was surprised. Quarreling? Me and Black Rose? He and the clueless Balmung both turned to me. Did I do something? Oh my god. I fucking hate moments like this. My voice is gonna sound weird because I'm leaning down to get something. I fucking hate moments like this. Because you feel not only like the asshole, but also like you're going fucking crazy because you're the only one who has an issue. It's like, no! That's not how this is supposed to go. I'm not crazy. Bleh. Just barf. Oh boy. Oh my god, hold on. I gotta put something on. There we go. Oh man. This has like the fucking Naruto ass. Boop boo doo doo doo. Boop doo doo doo. Boop doo doo doo. Do 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 do. Boop doo doo doo. Oh my god. Why are the two of you here together? Balmung said at the same time. Why is this happening? Well, that is, I said. I mean, fine, it was all a misunderstanding. My misunderstanding. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the quarrel thing, okay? Kite and Ballmung looked at each other dubiously. Unable to stand watching any longer, I looked away. To think that I was the only one who thought there was a problem. I wondered if there was a limit to how embarrassed a single person could get. I figured I had to be approaching it. I wondered if there was a limit to how embarrassed a single person could get. I figured I had to be approaching that point. There it is. I think it's just the spacing. I don't know what it is. Anyway. If you say so, Black Rose, we won't worry about it, Ballmung said. He turned to leave, but I stopped him. Ballmung, hey, where were you going earlier, I said. To talk to Kite. You could have just flash-mailed him to do that, though. Flash-mail's no good for important stuff, Ballmung explained. Well, anyway, as it looks like things are settled now, I'll be going. Oh, okay, I said lamely. How do you lamely say something? Okay. I don't know. Thanks. I bowed my head to him, and Ballmung smiled and warped away. No bow back, how dare. Kite watched him go and murmured, he could have flash-mailed me, and then we could have met up somewhere to talk. I half smiled. You said it, Kite. I hate that phrase, you said it, interperson's name here, because the cadence with which every other person says it is, you said it, Kite, or you said it, Kite. It's so fucking annoying to my ears. All four of them. Like, dude, there's better ways to say it. You said it, Kite. There's something just a little bit off about our Ballmung, I thought. Maybe it was his integrity, or his lack of adaptability, but maybe that was just part of his charm and his autism. Sorry about before, Kite said quietly. About Terajima. It's okay, I said. I should have known you can't ignore someone who needs help. I accidentally flipped one extra page, and there's a full page spread of the entire scene with Kite, Ballmung, and Black Rose, and the look on her fucking face is the best. She's got like the gritted teeth, the half closed eyes. She's like, oh, I hate awkward moments like this. This is the fucking worst. But like, my instinct isn't to shut up. It's to blather. It's to like, no, wait, cause you see, cause it was like this, and this. You gotta believe me. All right. Kite scratched the back of his neck like an anime protagonist and gave me a bit of an embarrassed smile like an anime protagonist. I couldn't help but smile back, and then I remembered what I really wanted to say. Oh, what? He said. I wanted to tell you something, I said, about this game, about the world. Do you still have time? He nodded. Yeah. Let's form a party to talk, okay? I didn't want any other players to be able to hear what I wanted to say about what I'd learned. What the fuck is that sentence? What the fuck is that sentence? I didn't want any other players to be able to hear what I wanted to say about what I'd learned. I feel like there's a shorter way to put that. That's weird. Ugh, excuse me. I mean, you know, granted, this is a Tokyo Pop light novel, so it's not exactly meant for older audiences. I feel like this is like this gives me like young adult novel vibes of like middle school. I don't know. I didn't want any other players to be able to hear what I wanted to say about what I'd learned from Asanoken. That fucking line is killing me. After accepting my invitation, Kite listened patiently to my story. I kept pausing and getting off track, but it would be a total lie to say I did a good job. What? I kept pausing and getting off track, and it would be a total lie to say I did a good job of getting to the point. Something Harold couldn't account for, Kite murmured to himself, falling into thought. What do you think it was, Kite? I asked. Kite shook his head. I still don't know, but there's just 4 more of them, right? If this is all based on the epitaph of Twilight, I have a feeling we'll learn something after we get past the other four, and we're the only ones who can do that. Honestly, I hadn't expected Kite to talk about us like that. Us. And it made me happy to hear him put it that way. I was very glad I worked together with him. I knew that by myself I wouldn't have been able to accomplish anything. When I didn't respond, Kite looked at me worriedly. Black Rose? She just plants a big old fucking kiss on his lips. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm just like, kiss. Yeah? Yeah, I said. Wait, right. We've already defeated 4 of them, so it's like we're just about over the hump. Hump day? More like hump wave? Alright. 4 more. But there wasn't anything left that we could do about it at the moment. As it was really late by that time, we decided to call it a night and logged out. Time passes. Fumikazu showed no change when I arrived in the hospital for my regular visit, but of course I hadn't expected him to. Still, as I sat at his side contemplating his softly breathing form, I couldn't help but think, a little longer. It'll be just a little longer. While he slept there, I started talking, as I always did, about what had happened recently in the world. Then I also told him about how Asaoka and Hagia were helping me in the real world. When I noticed that I was talking about Hagia in almost the same way I talked about Kite, my face suddenly felt hot. It wasn't like I was dwelling on him or anything, but his face suddenly rose before my mind's eye. Who, Kite or Hagia? I couldn't tell. Either way. I had played alongside Kite since the beginning, and he had proven to be someone that I could trust with my innermost thoughts. He was an important companion I could count on. But Hagia is different from a companion, I thought, then shook my head. What the heck am I doing dwelling on this in front of Fumikazu? Ever since he had fallen comatose, it was true that all my attention had been directed towards searching for the cause, but it wasn't as if there's the 2-page spread, but it wasn't as if that was the reason I had rebuffed Hagia's confession. It's a question of priorities, I said out loud. Not that I thought Fumikazu was listening, but giving voice to the thought helped clear my head somewhat. It's a question of priorities, man. And when I saw his eyes move behind his closed lids, I excitedly peered closely at his face for several minutes, but they didn't move again. Did I just hallucinate that or something? No, he's laughing at you because you're fighting with yourself between 2 boys. Jokes aside. Behind me, the hospital room door opened, and I heard a voice say, "Oh." When I turned around, there was the nurse who was in charge of Fumikazu's care. "Oh, thank you for all you do for my brother," I said. The nurse nodded. Of course. What I had just seen hadn't seemed like a hallucination, so I had to ask, has Fumikazu been asleep this whole time? He gave me a questioning glance. I thought I saw his eyes move. Ah, he said, that happens from time to time. I told your parents that he might be dreaming of the day he wakes up. Like the fucking episode where Fry's in a coma for a whole episode. Where is it? I rose and bowed once to the nurse, who cocked his head curiously, then left the hospital behind me. It had already been over 3 months since Fumikazu had fallen into his coma. Thinking that he had been dreaming that whole time presented me with conflicting emotions of both sadness and happiness. I want to speak with... Oh my god. I want to wake him up soon, I thought. I quickly pedaled my bike the rest of the way home. Hi, a voice called out to me... some time passes, by the way. Hi, a voice called out to me the instant I logged in. It was so sudden I cried out spontaneously, "Yeah!" Then I noticed that it was Mia! Oh no, it was me. Oh no, not that. No, I'm thinking of Mistral. 2 M names. I love Mistral. Mia's cute, but her place in the story is very tragic. Mia, who had called to me, she pulled up and contemplated me strangely. I think it just means she looks her over. Elk poked his head out from behind Mia and asked, "We're about to go get aromatic grass. Wanna come with?" "No thanks, bud." Sorry, I'm getting burpy. Ugh. I had like, I don't know how familiar, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with the Healthy Choice steamers, which not only does it sound like just a hot steamy shit, but they're these microwavable meals that are actually like healthy foods and meals and whatnot, and they're fucking delicious. And I found some new ones at the store, and one was this like, it had macaroni noodles, but the sauce was tomato based. It almost tasted like the innards of a lasagna, but instead of like that flat wide lasagna pasta, it was macaroni. It's very funny, but it was very good though. I had one bowl of that with 4 taquitos. Love me some taquitos. And I had never heard of taquitos until I saw the episode of Drake and Josh, when when Josh's theater manager, they were helping her out at her house, and her fucking alarm goes off, and Josh is like, "Oh, important meeting?" She's like, "Oh no, I just gotta get my taquitos out of the microwave." It fucking kills me. "Oh no, I just gotta get my taquitos out of the microwave." God, I love that actress. She was also in Community. She was Shirley in Community, and I think that's what she's mostly known for nowadays. But the first role that I had ever seen her in was Drake and Josh, and like she plays like the crazy manager so fucking well. I love it, love it. All right, huh? I said, still reeling a bit. "Mia, you're okay?" "Say what?" Mia said, confused. "Well, you took off suddenly the other day," I said. "The other day?" "Yeah, you muttered something and transferred out." "What are you talking about?" she said, turning to look at the Chaos Gate. Was she suddenly spacing out, or did she seriously not remember? I could never tell what Mia was thinking. Hey Mia, I said slowly. "Remember the words you said the other day?" What words? She turned back and looked at me questioningly. "About Plaird of the Seven Sisters?" "Huh? Isn't that what you said?" "Me? I said something like that?" Oh, I hate conversations like this, because you don't know if you're the crazy one, or if they're just, like, not remembering, or if they're gaslighting you. Ugh. Okay. Yes, you did. And it wasn't that long ago either, she thought to herself. In a bind, I looked to Elk for agreement, but he didn't seem to be paying attention. I had heard from Kite that Mia had said her memory was fuzzy, so I decided not to push the issue. It didn't seem likely that I would get anywhere. As on the previous occasion, I wondered if I could be in their way, but Elk himself had invited me this time, and I was so worried about what might happen if Mia suddenly went strange again. So I accepted the invitation. Adding me to the party, Elk asked Elk asked as if in confirmation. "How about... Ooh, is that Lambda? Let me double check real quick. You need to find Lambda team. Gordon, go find Lambda team." Alright. Lambda. That was stupid, I apologize. No. Oh. Lambda's the fuck... Oh, I had no clue. Lambda's the fucking Half-Life symbol from the games. I had no fucking clue. Alright, in that case, we're gonna go to hack root. Oh, it's ad break time. Good evening, VOD watchers. Hope and whoever happens to be straggling behind, I suppose, but good evening. And something. There it is. Fort Oaf. Sigma nuts, of course. Okay, there it is. We figured it out. I really need to bookmark that fucking page, I swear. I keep forgetting every time I forget the names. It's baffling. Anyway, but yeah, I hope y'all are enjoying it. Still waiting on my fucking cards for my morph deck, my Magic the Gathering morph deck. They were supposed to be here Monday. They never got here. So I'm waiting until tomorrow, whenever I check the mail again, and I'm gonna message them message the seller on TCG Player, be like, hey, so I never got my cards, bud. Whereabouts might those be? You know, I'm obviously not gonna be rude about it. You know, they only have so much control over it after it leaves their facility or whatever. And so I'm gonna message them and be like, hey, so my cards were supposed to be here on Monday, and it's been like 4 days since then. Are you guys still able to track it? Because I can't. Like, you guys have like a tracking thing for it or something? 9 times out of 10, every time I have messaged someone about cards not showing up, they've just given me a refund, which is so odd because, like, they're just like, all right, fine, refund. Like, there's something really weird about it, just like how quick they are to give a refund. There's only one time where they didn't, where I received the wrong thing and I sent it back, and they were like, yep, refund, got it. Here you go. And that was the PS5 that I bought initially. I misunderstood the sale. Even the picture was of a PS5 with a disc drive. And yet the description was a PS5 without a disc drive. So I'm like, what the fuck? Which one is it? And I should have messaged them to begin with. But in my haste to get a PS5, I was like, fuck it. And then I fucking bought it and was like, no! What was even more funny is that the box that it came in was, 1, it was huge. 2, it was full to the brim with packing peanuts, which I had never gotten a package with packing peanuts before. It's very funny. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to save every single one of those goddamn packing peanuts, and I'm going to put it back exactly the way it was shipped, with the packing peanuts, every fucking thing. Every goddamn thing. Exactly like it was. That way they can't be like, oh, tampering, blah, 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 blah. And so I sent it back. They were nice enough to give me a refund. And, yeah. What the fuck? Oh. Anyway. We return to adjusting my posture, for 1. For 2, we return to the book. And they are going to Sigma, Scattered Her Footstep, Claris. For today, as I had no idea where to find aromatic grass, I deferred to their judgment. Where are we? The area we warped to was a snowfield thick with powder. There were fissures in the sky, but no scorch marks on the ground. Climbing the sloping hills through the snow, we steadily slogged through the field. I figured that even if a data bug appeared, we would be okay, because Mia was there. Hold on, I'm gonna turn down YouTube real quick. Choaniki, wow. I didn't expect to see Choaniki music here. Okay, there we go. Slog through the field. I figured that even if a data bug appeared, we would be okay, because Mia was there. She wasn't a regular player character. She muttered stanzas of the epitaph, and she'd shown me the scene of Orca being data drained. If she really was a player character, there was something truly unusual about her, but some kind of special power. Having her as an ally gave me confidence that anything within reason could be dealt with. But if she ever became my enemy, I didn't want to think about that. As I was lost in thought, I'd fallen a little behind, so I ran to catch up and said, You know, Elk, I've never actually seen aromatic grass. I knew it was an item, but I had no idea what purpose it served in the world, she thought to herself. It didn't seem like anything bad to have, though, and it didn't seem to be particularly rare. We just gather it up because Mia likes it, Elk said as we trudged along. There's no other reason. Why does she like it, I asked. Because she's a cat-type player character. I don't know why, Elk said, and then Mia suddenly drew to a standstill. A short time passed like she was thinking about something, and then she spoke up in a careful tone that was unusual for her. It might have something to do with that, she said. With what? I said. I've been having a lot of dreams lately. Mia has dreams? I'd been thinking that she might have some kind of special non-player, that she might be some special non-player character, but NPCs couldn't dream, could they? So, was there a real person playing Mia's character? She continued, in my dreams, I'm called Matcha. Ooh, Matcha? I cried, one of the names of the epitaph of Twilight. Skaith, Innis, Magus, Fitchshell, those were all the monsters from the epitaph that we had defeated. Listed after them were Gore, Matcha, Tarvos, and Korbenik. Where are you? My dream self, known as Matcha, is given aromatic grass from a boy who looks like Elk. Hello, Rafus. How you like? It's a good one. It's a good one, Rafus. We are almost done with Volume 3. And then, if we finish early before the 2-hour mark, we are going to start on Volume 4. And right now, the main character is in a field in an MMO with a character who looks like a cat who may not be a real character, but she acts like one. My dream self known as Matcha is given aromatic grass from a boy who looks like Elk, Mia said. When I'm with him, I feel at ease. Maybe that has something to do with why I like aromatic grass. You feel at ease, I muttered, as if testing Mia's words, and stared at Elk's face. He was quiet, with a conflicted expression. You don't feel at ease with me? He asked slowly. Mia grinned at Elk. That's not true, she said, then turned and lopped off. A boy who looks like me, Elk muttered. That's kind of sad. Huh? I mean, it's not me. But he looks like you, I said. Elk shook his head. If she says he looks like me, that means it's someone else. Not really, dude. I understood what he was getting at. I'm glad you do, Akira, but not me. Look, Mia said he liked... Nope. Wait, what? Look, Mia said he looked... Look, Mia said he looked like you, I said. She didn't say you looked like him, got it? Oh, he said, catching on. So even in her dream, she's thinking of me. He smiled, relieved. Oh, Mia's getting way ahead of us. He ran to catch up with her. Which one is it really, I wondered. Does Elk look like the boy, or does the boy look like Elk? Which viewpoint did Mia see this from? I'm not really sure why that matters. Mia had gotten so far ahead of us, she was out of view. As Elk ran after her, his figure diminished as well. Watching him chase after her, I grew more apprehensive. I couldn't tell him about it, but I started getting the feeling that this might be the last time we'd be able to see Mia. Hurry, Elk called back to me, and my attention returned to Black Rose. Elk beckoned, and I ran toward him. Found some, he cried. I didn't see any graphical representation of what he was talking about, but he'd apparently come across some of the item in question. Where? I said as I came up. Mia was there too. Inside this magical portal's treasure chest, Elk explained. You can find it that quickly? I said. If you're lucky, Elk said, turning to Mia. Here, Mia. I couldn't see it, of course, but they must have brought up their trade mode screens. After a few seconds, Mia smiled at him. Thanks, Elk, she said. I'll take good care of it. There's a lot of there's a lot of he said, she said. but not the Limp Biscuit variety. Just a lot of he said, she said. Well, he said, she. Okay, I can't say that seriously. Oh man. All right. Now not wanting to intrude on their moment, I moved away quietly. The way Mia was acting now, she probably wouldn't want to leave Elk all alone. So if I wasn't there, she'd stay with him. I walked away until I could no longer see them. I'll flash mail Elk later or something, I thought, and left the area behind. Some time passes. I returned to town alone, just in time to catch the arrival of a new email. It was from Wiseman. When I saw that the title was "To All Involved in Operation 2, I logged out to open it, feeling some trepidation. Quote, "Here are the most recent reports from Leos and Helba." Leos's report. "There have been reports of a fresh rash of coma victims, judging by the activities of my company's damage control team. The reports are apparently true." Helba's report. "My monitoring of Sigma server indicates that the capacity of Sigma chatting snaring twins is increasing. At this time, I see no other notable capacity changes, so this would be our first strike target. To put that simply, she's as sure as she can be that Sigma chatting snaring twins is where we'll find our next culprit. I recommend we execute this operation. Operation name Breakwater." Hilarious. Gather in net slum. That is all." As I read back over Wiseman's email, my spirits rose. "All right," I said, and started typing a message for Kite. "You saw Wiseman's email, right? I'll be waiting for you in net slum." I watched it finish sending, then logged in and warped straight to net slum at... There he is. That one's better. That one's better. There's net slum. Oh, I think. Oh, that's not Delta. Delta's the full triangle. What's the triangle with the missing bottom? No, that's Omega server. Was it Carmina Gadelica? Yes. It is. There's Carmina Gadelica, and it is the Lambda. Wait, what? That's not right. Well, I guess Lambda could be represented in different ways, but... Sorry. Lambda it is. Open triangle. Open bottom triangle. Boots with the fur. I warped straight to Netslum at Lambda Pulsing Truth's core so I wouldn't get left behind or keep anyone waiting. Wiseman saw me warp in and called out to me. "Ah, Black Rose." I looked around. "Kite's not here yet, then?" "You got here early this time," Wiseman said, raising his eyebrow at the way I was hopping about. This has got me all pumped up," I said, and Balmung smiled wryly as he appeared from the shadow of the shrine arch. "Hey, there we go." "Now that sounds like you," he said. "You're here too?" I said. "Of course." Leos and Helba flanked him. The only one we were still missing was Kite. "The enemy won't run away while we're waiting, will it?" I said apprehensively. When Helba looked at me questioningly, I continued. "He said something about the capacity of the area increasing, and I just wondered what would happen if it ran off." "If it does run, we'll just follow it again," Helba said, calming my fears. "That won't be a problem." We have them by the tails," Balmung said. "Let us advance calmly." "Yeah," I said. "We were all in this together." Right. And Kite had the bracelet, the key that would solve the riddle. "It's all right. I'm sure this will go just fine," she thought to herself. At that moment, warp rings appeared before us. "Am I late?" Kite said as he appeared. "No, we all just gathered." That was said. Wait, I need some more feeling behind that. "No, we all just gathered," Helba said. Kite smiled, looking around at all of us. "It's time," I said. "Yeah," Kite nodded. It's fucking anime as shit. "It's up to you, Kite," Wiseman said. "Huh?" If you say the word, we can get started. Wiseman was right. If it weren't for Kite's bracelet, there was nothing we could do, even if we found some clue to a solution. It was Kite who had gotten us all to work together, so he was the only one who could set things in motion. Come on, Hilda said. Leos chimed in. Go ahead. Kite started speaking awkwardly. Well, this operation is to return the world to normal and find some clue toward helping the players who are in comas. The name Weissman picked for it was fitting. By ourselves, we can't do anything. But blocks that stop waves, if we combine our powers, we can drain the power out of even a mighty wave. I think that's how it works. Anyway, everyone, please lend me your strength, anime protag. I also want to see Orca again. Balmung said. We've gathered here with the same goal in mind. As the bearer of the bracelet, you must launch the operation, Wiseman said. Is that not what he's doing? Kite looked at me with a troubled expression. Be firm about it. Decisive, I said. Kite drew in a deep breath. May the Twilight Dragon's divine protection be with us, he cried. Commence Operation Breakwater. Roger, we all cried out in a surprising unison. That's fucking adorable. Love that. We were all there to join forces and to do battle against our common foe. We'd never done that before. This is the beginning, I thought. Heat spreading in my chest. I have heartburn now. Those of us who made up the strike force returned to town first. We arrived at Carminica Delica. There we go. A party invitation came from Kite. Let's get this over with, he said. Yeah, agreed. Usually this was the point at which we'd add Mishra to the party, but she wasn't there anymore. Her absence weighed heavily on me. Are you nervous that I'm not a wave master? Balmung asked, as if he knew through my feelings. All I want is to see Orca again soon. Please let me accompany you until the end. Kite and I looked at each other, then smiled at Balmung, who accepted his party invitation. Come to think of it, a party like this isn't so bad. It's really pretty amazing. The bracelet bearer and a descendant of Fianna together, she thought to herself. Alright, let's get going, I cried, grasping the hilt of my massive sword. Massive sword count number 4. It's either 4 or 5, I can't remember, but it's at least 4 or 5 times that she said the word massive sword. Where are we? Slung as it was across my back and stood before the Chaos Gate. First we have to go to Fort Oath, Kite said, and we transferred to Beta Server. Beta Server, I think that is this one. Is everyone ready? Balmung asked. In front of Fort Oath Chaos Gate, yep. I am, said Kite. Oh, I am, I said. Kite? Me too. Okay then, Balmung said. Shall we go? We shall, bitches. I had been scared up until this point, and I was sure my fear wouldn't abate anytime soon. But I knew we could do it. Yeah, let's go. The area we warped to was Beta, chattering, snaring twin. I think it's Beta. I think it's either Sigma or Beta. Motherfucker, dude. Sigma server, excuse me. The area we warped to was Sigma, chatting, snaring twins. Was considerably contaminated. Courtesy of the virus, the dark prairie was crisscrossed with scorch marks. Enormous fissures rent the dark sky, and a stark white full moon threw everything into a harsh light. Character strings crept about like insects in the very air before me. As we made for the dungeon, ominous noises rang throughout the field. The dungeon was like an old castle, and perhaps because of the broken graphics, it was filled with an eerie light. There were a few magical portals, but in spite of that, the monsters triggered from them were exceptionally strong compared to the others we had fought in the past. While trying to conserve our recovery items as much as possible, We advanced deeper into the dungeon. On floor B4, which seemed to be the lowest level, we found a door enshrouded in purple mist. "This is it," I murmured, as Kite stopped in front of it. "Ready?" he asked. "Yes," Balmung said. Get ready. Increase data capacity, or whatever you are," I said, and we moved in. Once through the doorway, we found ourselves in a completely different area from the old castle we'd just fought our way through. The area Sigma chatting sneering twins is now quarantined. Helba's voice echoed from nowhere in particular. There was a lot of static, like the isolation made transmission suffer. "Communications will be offline." "Ready," we all cried, and in that instant the display was engulfed in white, waves that shifted in purple as they raged back and forth across the field of view. The colors inverted occasionally, making us strain our eyes desperately so that we wouldn't get disoriented. The place we found ourselves in had a black surface lined with deep red hexagons, and ruins floated in an orange sky. It was always the same area where we battled our opponents from the epitaph. "It's here!" Kite shouted, and a monster reminiscent of a pair of ovoid drops appeared. Like its predecessor, it was a thin monster whose textured surface reminded me of lithographic prints. "Just who designs these freaky things anyway?" I cried, voicing my first impression as if to brush away my fear. "Two of them. Then let's cut them apart." I ran and sliced into the monsters, and the name indicator that popped up read Gore. The God Butcher. Kidding. Oh, it's these guys. That's right. I remember these guys. These guys are fucking weird looking. Yeah, that's what they look like. The Machinator. And then there's the backside, where they look like they have like hieroglyphics or something on them. But yeah, they look like goofy masks. Anyway. Just as expected from the Epitaph of Twilight. As might be suggested by the area keywords, the two appeared to be twins, but they weren't identical. One had physical tolerance and the other had magical tolerance. They worked the same except for the colors of gems embedded at the tops of their drop-like bodies. One was blue and the other was yellow. Was it? I guess this is before the fight starts. I think they light up when the fight starts. Because there's the gems on their head, but neither of them are lit up in blue or yellow, so that might just be pre-fight gore. Excuse me. Oops. Okay. Where are we? But they weren't identical. One had a physical tolerance and the other had magical tolerance. They looked the same except for the colors of gems embedded at the tops of their drop-like bodies. One was blue and the other yellow. By paying attention to the gems, we could keep track of what sort of attack to use on which. A screeching sound rang out, and Black Rose's body was wrapped in flames. My hit points had fallen to less than half. Checking the log, I saw the words "Creeping Murder," what a name, had appeared. Since we had no Wave Master, we had to recover our own hit points and skill points as best we could. I spent a full HP recovery item, healing elixir, and tightly re-gripped my massive sword. Massive sword count 6! All three of us attacked the one gore with magical tolerance, leaving the physical tolerance one to deal with later. The damage we did to it wasn't like what we could do... What? The damage we did to it wasn't like what we could do to a regular monster, but though it dropped very slowly, its hit points gauge was depleting. What? I cried out in shock after accidentally hovering my cursor over the physical tolerance gore. Despite the fact that none of us had yet attacked it, its HP gauge had decreased to the same extent as the magical tolerance ones had. Oh, PS2 ambience, fuck yeah. When I reported this fact to Kite and Balmung, the latter said straightforwardly, "Isn't that because they're twins?" Like, that explains it at all, she thought to herself. But as a party with no Wave Master, we were grateful for the stroke of luck, since we weren't confident in our ability to use charms and skill point magical attacks. "Let's just attack this one," Kite shouted, using an attack skill on the magical tolerance score. "Got it," I cried. Up until that point, I'd conserved my skill points for our later assault on the second gore, but if we only had to beat one of them, then there was no reason to hold back on using my most SP costly attack skills. "Rye smash!" I cried, and sent Black Rose somersaulting as her sword arced downward, toward Gore. A move like that would make me dizzy in real life, but this was a game. A dangerous game on which I had wagered the fate of my real life. You know. After my attack hit, I watched, shocked, as upon the outer skins of the two Gores, what I had thought were lithographic designs rippled aside and faces appeared as if rising to the surface of a lake. Their mouths split open. Where are we? Their mouths split open, revealing teeth gaped like a crocodile's, yellow eyes with deep red pupils transfixed me, and I found myself unable to move. "They have faces after all," came the frantic thought as a familiar object appeared between the two grotesque faces with a shape like Kite's bracelet. "Here it comes!" Okay, so this is the first part of it. You start whacking away at it, and then, boom, they grow the faces like a bunch of fucking weirdos. Okay. Whoop. Damn it. My phone keeps driving. I'm just going to leave it there. "Here it comes," I cried. Once again, the bracelet was aimed at me, even though I knew that as long as Kite was there, there was no way I'd fall into a coma, even if I got data drained. Fear still chilled my blood. Once again, I flailed Black Rose around helplessly as her body was lifted into the air. But having been through this before, I was more prepared. I opened my item list from the game menu and got ready to deal with as many status abnormalities that would pop up after I got data drained. And with a deathly pale arrow shot through Black Rose's body, unable to look at it, I closed my eyes. I wonder if this is how it was for Fumikazu. I didn't fall into a coma, but sure enough, when the data drain was over, I found that several status abnormalities had left their mark. I dealt with them in short order, then returned to the front line. "You okay?" Balmung asked. "No sweat," I said, and fired off attack skill after attack skill once more. Finally, radiant green rings engulfed both the Gores, and Kite confirmed the appearance of the Protect Break OK indicator. "There it is," he shouted, and lined up his sight at very close range. An arrow of light shot from the bracelet, forked and pierced through Gore's right... Wait, what? Oh, pierced both Gores right through their centers. Got it. But nothing seemed to happen. Kite ran up beside me, rubbing his right arm where the bracelet was, and I asked, "Did you hit it?" "Probably," he said, and we stared at the Gores, apprehension building. But our fear was groundless. The data-drained Gore pulsed and generated into monsters formed by 5 stones each, connected by ropes. Balmung cried out, "What's this?" "When Kite uses the bracelet, they always turn into something like this," I explained. The two Gores each had 6,000 hit points displayed, but they had neither magical nor physical tolerance. They also had low attack power, so it was with little worry that we hacked steadily away at them. When their hit points were significantly reduced, Balmung yelled out, "Giru slash!" He unleashed a sword scale that sliced diagonally one way and then the other, and Gore turned pitch black and started to fall apart. As it crumbled, it let out some painful mutters, but I couldn't catch what it said. "Yeah," Oh, there's a little sketch of Gore in the book. Its face looks really familiar, and I can't figure out why. Either way. As we looked on, relieved, we heard Helba's voice once again echo throughout the air. You did it. When we looked up, we saw Helba hovering in the air, Leos beside her with his arms folded. All appears to have gone well, he said. An investigation will still be necessary, but I guess you have succeeded for now. It seemed to be contemplating. No, Kite seemed to be contemplating something, but Balmung laid a hand on his shoulder. Let us rejoice in our triumph, he said. Kazu, I whispered. Hang on, we're nearly there. 3 more, and then Fumikazu will wake up. Sure in my, belief that that was the case, I slowly closed my eyes and drew in a long, deep breath. Just a little longer. And then Helba spoke up once again directly over our heads. Omega server, detecting massive data fluctuation. It's immense. Possibly the cursed wave itself. It's moving. It's running, Wiseman's voice broke in. This marks the beginning of the counterattack. As I was about to turn around to look for Wiseman, Kite slowly opened his mouth. Counterattack? I don't think so. No, we've just realized that the rule of this game that Harold created, he said, looking at me. To make a statement like that, he must have been filled with a considerable conviction that it was true. Harold's true rule, it was clearly different from the normal rules of the world, and it must have had something to do with aura. Perhaps a parent's assistant in the growth of his child. Involved as I was, whatever the result, I would not run away. For Fumikazu's sake, regardless of whatever Harold's rule was. I would stick with the world. Whatever turbid current tried to swallow me. However, waiting for us after Gore is Matcha, the name Mia was called in her dream. When we confronted Matcha, when Kite learned the truth about her, would he still use the power of the bracelet? Being Kite, I had a feeling he would hesitate. If that happened, standing there among the others who were rejoicing in the success of Operation Breakwater, I alone brooded over a dark premonition. Thank you, friends. Alright, that was the end of that chapter. And then I think we're on the last one. Yes, we are. It doesn't seem to be that many pages, but there are quite a bit. So, let's hope I can get through it and then end it in the stream. I think this is the thickest book out of all 4 of them. Yeah, thickest book out of all 4. Even Volume 4 is not that thick. Not this thick, it's ridiculous. Okay, the next chapter is simply called Thank You, Friends. And where are we now? Highland City, Dunloyrig. Highland City, Dunloyrig. Highland City, Dunloyrig. Highland City, Dunloyrig. What the fuck is it? Highland City, Dunloyrig. Oh my god, this is gonna bug the fuck out of me. I gotta grab my phone real quick. Mother trucker, dude. Okay. There it is. It's the second server. And it's not Omega server either. It's the Theta server. It's the O with the line in the middle. So it be here. Dancing in the twilight. Oh. Hey, get back up there. There we go. Yeah. Doesn't look quite the same, but goddamn. Doesn't look quite the same, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. We'll just do this one for now. And we're also going to turn up the PS2 ambience as well. Be like right there. Okay. I sat down in my usual place in Highland City, Dunloyrig. The location with the great view that Mistral told me about had ended up becoming my favorite spot to sit and relax. I had logged in without anything specific in mind, and I just sat there thinking, taking in the scenery. When my gaze drifted back over the city, I saw Nova walking along by himself. Our eyes met, and he started toward me. Still sitting, I gave him a wave. Yo! You're all by yourself in a place like this? Nova said, sitting down beside me. What about you? I countered. Aren't you with Chimney? I thought he and Nova had made good partners. Gay. A small Western-style blade master with a firm Japanese-style blade master. They were mismatched in appearance and personality, but I liked seeing a pair like that mesh well. It's the comedic goober with the straight man. But Nova had other words today. Why would I be with a guy like him? He said. Nova usually had a kind demeanor, so this was quite an unusual response. I tilted my head. Did something happen? Not especially, Nova sighed. This was the first time I'd seen him hesitant to say anything. And as I didn't think I could pry any further, I fell silent. Usually, no matter what mischief Chimney would get into, Nova generally laughed and forgave him. And no matter how passionately Nova talked, it didn't perturb Chimney at all. Before I could ask what had happened, Nova spoke up, and I had lost my chance. So what are you doing here alone? Waiting for someone? Nah, I was just zoning out, I said. He frowned. That's not like you. No? I got this image of you as always on the go. I considered that. Do I come off as restless? Well, I don't see you in any town much. You leveled way above me before I even knew it, he said. His voice was hollow, as if he expected an echo from an assenting voice. And it made me wonder even more what had happened. When I didn't respond, Nova peered at me inquisitively. Did I say something weird? I said. I was just thinking that this black rose is always on the go thing is a misunderstanding. He leaned back. Oh, is that so? Yep. I smiled under Nova's fixed gaze. I had no desire at this time to tell him why I was playing the game, nor did I think I'd ever tell him in the future. But I was sure he'd noticed by now that I was caught up in something. Not wanting to prompt any probing questions from him, I kept silent. Help me. And then, followed by the capital O underscore capital O thing. No, not that. Haha, there we go. No, god damn you. Not a fucking emote. This, but without a space to it. A flash mail appeared in my log from Chimney. I thought about telling Nova about it, but his earlier tone of voice at the mention of Chimney's name gave me the feeling that wouldn't be wise. I just got flash mail from a friend, I said. Cool, no worries. Nova responded nonchalantly, sporting a smile. He looked out toward the scenery, and I started a back-and-forth flash mail conversation with Chimney. What's wrong? I'm teaching a newbie, but I'm not doing a very good job getting through to him. Why not get Nova to help you? He's here right now. He's there? Oh, man. I wanted you to help me, though, Black Rose. Me? You can't? Got other stuff to do? Well, no, but I don't fucking wanna. I'm near the bridge in Mac Anu. It'd be great if you'd come by. Oh, he's got the fucking... I used to do this all the fucking time. He's got this fucking shit going on. the capital T crying face. Oh, I haven't done that in forever. Oh my god, that's so good. I thought for a bit, then asked Chimney, should I bring Nova? Nova? Nah, come alone. If there was any doubt before, now it's obvious that something happened between them, I thought. What in the world could it have been? Well, Chimney needed urgent help, but if I went there now, I'd probably be able to find some excuse to figure out what happened. Hold on, I'll be right there. I flashed back and stood up. Someone needs me, gotta go. I told Nova. Okay, Nova said. Take care. Yeah, later. I started walking away. I glanced back and saw that Nova just kept sitting there, looking at the scenery, just as I had earlier. Averting my eyes, I ran for the Chaos Gate. As I approached our appointed meeting place at the bridge in Mac Anu, Chimney waved to me from his center. Yeah, from its center. So that would be this. There's the bridge, and that's what it looks like from head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. I wish I knew what the fuck product they were selling. I need to look that up sometime. Scott the Waz. Gamer products. Oh my god, that's gonna be funny. My viewers sent the most cursed videos in existence. Squish, be squishy. I hadn't seen that guy post any more squirrel videos in a while. I'm not sure what happened to him. That one dude who's like, be squishy! And he fucking, like, talks to squirrels and feeds them acorns. Squishy, my pretty. It's such a wholesome little channel. I wonder what happened to it. Anyway. Where are we? Sorry, I said, jogging up. Been waiting long? Not at all. We've been talking about lots of stuff. Smiling at me, Chimney looked over his shoulder. Chimney, how did you do... Wait, what? Chimney, how did you do that wave? A tall, slender, white-haired twin blade asked from behind Chimney. He wore what looked like a pitch-black ninja outfit, and he must have been the newbie Chimney had mentioned. Didn't I just tell you a minute ago? Chimney said. Try it. The twin blade raised his arm and muttered to himself. He waved. Watching him talk himself through it, Chimney shrugged and looked back at me. This is how it's been the whole time, he said. He's so... Nice to meet you, the twin blade said. I'm Torao. Or is it? Yeah, Torao. How do you do? Nice to meet you too, I said, raising an eyebrow. My name's Black Rose. Black Rose? Like the flower, he said. Well, pretty much. I nodded vaguely, not having expected to be asked the meaning of my name. There's something kind of off about this guy, I thought, but neither my face nor my words betrayed my emotions. Chimney explained anyway. You see, Tarao's American. Oh, yeah. Huh? I have come to the JP server to practice my Japanese. Yo, what up? Tarao said. Really? I was surprised despite the fact that the world was played in every country on the globe. I had never met anyone from... probably outside of Japan. Yeah, from outside of Japan. Though, I thought, since I didn't exactly ask people about their personal lives, I could have met all kinds of foreigners before without realizing it. Chimney. She is cute, is she not? Tarao said. Black Rose? Chimney considered me as if for the first time. Well, she's just CG in the end, he smiled. Besides, doesn't she give off more of a cool air than a cute one? Both can be true. How dare you? Fucking... But yeah, both can be true. Where are we? Flattery will get you nowhere, I said. This player character telling me I was cute was the first time that it happened. And though I knew it wasn't my real self he was complimenting, I still had a slight attack of shyness. Tarao looked at me and Chimney and said, "It is the color of your hair. It is pink and very cute." Oh, he has like a very direct way of speaking as opposed to like a casual one. And I guess that's how they're like, I guess they translated it as like him speaking directly with no contractions. Oh, her hair, huh? Chimney and I raised eyebrows at each other again, and then Taral smiled at me broadly. Messed that up, he whispered to himself in a vexed tone, and tilted his head. Smiling is very difficult. What? Ah. More motion command practice. Chimney said. Tarao, did you mean to do that smile when you said the word cute? That's right, Tarao said. It is difficult. You'll be fine once you get used to it, I assured him. I messed up the timing when I started out too. Oh, you did? No shit, dude. Everyone starts out shitty. Unless you get lucky and happen to have a knack for it, but even then you have a very specific skill ceiling if you just rely only on your knack for something and don't actually practice. Yeah, it just takes some practice. You'll be fine, I said, and patted Tarao on the shoulder. Tarao smiled and passed me his member address. You're supposed to give this to people you first meet, right? I mean, I wouldn't say you give that to everyone. He looked at Chimney for confirmation. Okay then, me too, I said, and passed my address back to him. May I invite you? Tarao asked. Of course. The words Tarao wishes to form a party appeared in the log, and I accepted at once. Hello all over again, I said. Yes, here's hoping for the best, Tarao said, and after pausing for a second, bowed. His inexperience was a pleasant reminder of what I'd been like when I just started the game. So why don't we get started and go somewhere, Chimney said. Go where? Tarao asked. Since we'd formed a party, there was only one logical answer. An area where we could start an adventure. Me, the heavy blade, Tarao, the twin blade, and Chimney, the blade master. Would a party be so heavily tilted toward the attack end of the character spectrum do alright? I felt twinges of anxiety, but it was fleeting. If Tarao had just started out, then a newbie here area would be our destination. Lambda. Delta. Delta bursting past over Aquafield. Oh man, that's the first area you go to in the game itself when you play as Kite. Tarao asked when we reached the Chaos Gate. Bursting past over Aquafield. Aquifer. We still have quite a ways to go for this fucking chapter. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Yeah, Chimney said, this is your first time, so let's go there today. A player character who had just started only had those 3 words available by default. In the future, he'd have to learn other keywords from the BBS or from other players. After we explained that to him, Tarao nodded. Then let us go. The 3 of us warped from the Chaos Gate. Delta, bursting past over Aquafield, was a place everyone was sure to come. An open meadow stretching out indefinitely with a yellow sun hanging in a blue sky. Yellow spheres dotted the plain from nearby to far in the distance. Tarao looked around the field. There are no monsters? He asked curiously. Well, you see, monsters come from magical portals, Chimney explained patiently. Magical portals? Oh my god, why are you repeating what they're saying? Yeah, these, said Chimney, and he approached a nearby yellow sphere that pulsed with pale patterns. Oh, Tarao exclaimed as an emaciated goblin-type monster with long, narrow ears emerged from the portal. It was a monster Chimney or I could defeat in a single blow, but since that wouldn't be any help to Tarao, we took the opportunity to teach him about combat, demonstrating attack skills that worked in combination with weapons. Magic skills that required specific equipment and items that invoked spells or recovered points. We took care of all the magical portals in the meadow. No treasure chests, huh? Chimney muttered with some disappointment as we stood in front of the dungeon entrance. Are you still trying to spring every trap you run across? I asked him, surprised. Yep. Traps? Torao asked. Yeah, traps that are triggered on treasure chests, Chimney explained. My goal is to spring every single one. Why? I don't know, it's fun, Chimney said, shrugging. The instant you open a rigged treasure chest, you get damaged almost to the point of death or poisoned. He smiled broadly. Your way of playing sounds interesting, Torao mused. Chimney chirped. Fighting only when it's safe is boring. No, the fuck it ain't, Chimney. Fuck you. Torao considered. So this field has been boring for you? Chimney rolled his eyes. Oh, that's not what I meant. This is fun in its own way, right? He looked to me for agreement. I smiled wryly. The conversation was a bit lopsided, and I found myself stifling a laugh as I answered. It's nice to get back to the basics sometimes. That is good, then, Torao said, nodding. The three of us wandered through the dim stone dungeon in the style of an old castle, relying on the torches that were shining here and there on the walls. Torao enjoyed tripping magical portals, and he was doing a good job getting used to the combat system. This being the easiest dungeon in the game, we got to the Got statue with no problems. I forget there's things called Got. It's G-O-T-T, but I fucking so badly want to call them Gyat statues. And they're just these floating statues with like animal faces, but they have huge asses. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, if I had the means to draw that, I absolutely would. Just a detailed floating statue at the bottom of a dungeon, but with a huge cheeked up ass. Oh god, that's funny. Okay, let's see. Alright, got statue, no problems. Before the faintly glowing statue, Torao stopped and looked down. This is it? He asked, pointing at the treasure chest in front of the statue. He showed no sign of attempting to open it. What's up? Chimney asked him, smiling. You can open it, you know. Well, I'm afraid for some reason, Torao said. Afraid? I'm afraid that if I open it, this god statue will fall on top of me. Chimney laughed. I thought that the first time too, but that never happens. Alright, Torao said. I will open it. What came out of the treasure chest was a sprite ocarina. With the chest now open, the god statue made a sound and sank down into the ground. Torao watched it go and then turned around and asked, Is this the end? For you! And he just fucking kills him. That's right, I said. That's the end of this area. It was too short, Torao murmured emptily. Maybe this area was, Chimney said, smiling, but because you passed it, now you can go around lots of other areas. Though if you go on one with strong enemies, it'll take longer. He sighed. You have to get keywords to go to new areas, correct? Torao asked. You can get them from lots of places, though, Chimney chirped. They're not hard to come up with. He paused, probably considering what keywords to teach Torao. What would be a good place? Black Rose, are there any areas you recommend? I've been going after specific goals, so I'm not sure I know something appropriate, I said. There was only one set of keywords I couldn't forget, though. Delta, hidden, forbidden, holy ground. The place where Fumikazu went away. When I thought of those words, it brought up all the bad memories. I thought that was one set of keywords I wouldn't be telling anyone anytime soon. If you can get them on the BBS, Torao said, then I will go and research some keywords there. So would you mind waiting for me? Huh? If you have other things to do, then that is fine, he said. But what do you think? His gaze alternated between me and Chimney. I'm cool with it, Chimney said, smiling. I have to go grab a bite to eat now anyway, but I'll be back after that. What about you, Black Rose? I didn't have any homework, and it wasn't like I was tired from tennis practice, but what about Nova? When I said that name, Chimney spoke up immediately, talking rapidly like he didn't want to talk about it. I don't bother him. Nova won't do things like this. Really? When Nova was the first one to say anything to me the first time I logged into the world? I tilted my head, but decided it wouldn't be appropriate to talk about it in front of Torao. So I said to Chimney, Oh, then maybe I'll join you after all. Thanks, Torao said. Then we should take a short break. Okay, Chimney said. Let's get back to town first. He used a sprite ocarina, like the one Tarao had gotten from the treasure chest, to return us out of the dungeon. Ew, I hate the way that was phrased. Once we got back to town and said our mutual goodbyes, we saw Tarao off, not we threw him off. See you later, Chimney called and waved as Tarao warped out. I took the opportunity to speak up. There was something I wanted to ask Chimney no matter what. Listen. Oh, thanks a lot, Chimney said. I'm not that great at teaching. No, it's no big deal. Not really, you saved me. I shook my head. If that's what you mean by teaching, then it's not a problem, but isn't Nova the one who's good at this? Chimney faltered for a second. Never mind about Nova, he said. Never mind? Did you have a fight or something? Not really, why? I peered at his face. Because you're always together, and seeing you apart worries me. Always, huh? Chimney muttered, then fell silent. The player character Chimney before my eyes was looking... Wait, what? The player character Chimney before my eyes was looking right at me. But I got the feeling that the real person sitting at his computer was not. Did I say something wrong? Nah, don't sweat it, he said. I'm gonna go eat. See you again later, okay? He logged out, disappearing. These fucking baby boys, too fucking stubborn to just talk shit out like fucking people. I didn't know what to think. There was apparently quite a rift between the two of them. What had pushed them so far apart? If I found out, maybe there would be something I could do. What are you up to? I flash-mailed Nova, and after a while a reply came back. Just killing time. Can you talk for a little while? Huh? You're done already? We took a break. Fine, I'm still in the same spot. I'm on my way. Since he was still there, I immediately headed for Dunloyrig and found him gazing at the scenery exactly where I'd left him. Nova, what do you want to talk about? He asked, in a bored face, getting right to the point. About Chimney, I said. Oh. Nova said there's nothing to say. That means there's everything to say. He fell silent after that, so I spoke up. I wasn't sure if it was the right thing to do or not, but either way, I couldn't just say nothing. He was doing well on his own. That got a reaction out of him. At what? Showing a newbie the ropes. Chimney? By himself? His voice unexpectedly rose. Well, I was with him too. I said. So that's what you got called off for? Nova smiled. Well, do what you have to do. His tone of voice turned uninterested again. What are you... I began trying to get through to him, but Nova lifted a hand to stop me. Until he understands, I don't care to go anywhere near him, Nova said, then stood up and walked away. Not knowing what else I could possibly do, I just kept quiet and watched him walk away, his words echoing in my mind. Until he understands. What the hell does he want Chimney to understand? If only I knew that, I'd have something to work with. Before long, a flashmail arrived from Chimney, announcing that he was back, so I returned to Mac Anu. Right here. Hi, I called out, spying him and Tarao. There you are, Chimney said. So shall we get going? I found an assortment of keywords on the BBS. Now we can go lots of places. You got it, Chimney said. As we prompted him, Tarao chose keywords at the Chaos Gate. Let's hope it's nowhere crazy. Behind him, I spoke to Chimney. Hey, Chimney, what happened with Nova? He paused before answering. I'm fine even if he's not around. Do I look that pathetic to you? Ouch. That's not what I meant, I said. The transfer kicked in, so our conversation was cut short. We spent the rest of the evening going around to whatever areas the keywords Tarao had gotten his hands on led to. Making easy trips through dungeons and raiding the Got statues. I watched Chimney and Tarao enjoying themselves, getting hit by whatever the traps on the treasure chest did, and felt an odd malaise. Oh my god, we're at the fucking 2-hour mark already. We're not done yet. Boo. Fucking boo. Oh my god. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 13 more pages. Come the fuck on, dude. I cannot believe this book took me this long to finish. This is ridiculous. What the fuck? Alright. Either way. Good evening, VOD watchers. Welcome to Ikanu Rambles Like a Motherfucker. Oh, boy. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 16. It's still pretty fun. It feels like it's starting to come to an end. I feel like I'm past the halfway point. And the focus seems to be on destroying the mother crystals for those who have played Final Fantasy 16. I killed that one shaved-headed dude in the desert area. Again, being vague to avoid spoilers. And right now, I'm just... before stream started, I had, what's the term? I had, what the fuck is it? Oh, I'd been working on hunts. Or whatever the fuck they're called. Kind of like the missions from Final Fantasy 12. Sorry. I've got the fucking map on in the other, not the other room, but behind me is the game's going. And right now I'm just vibing, unsure of what to say. Oh, looks like the ad ended. Nice. Itchy. Any butt. Let me get a sip of my Celsius. And we keep going till we end the book. Spent the rest of the evening, got statues. I watched Chimney and Tarao enjoying themselves, getting hit by whatever the traps on the treasure's chest did. And I felt an odd malaise. While we'd been teaching Tarao the basics, I hadn't given it much thought, but now that we were adventuring like normal, it was amazing to me just how wrong and unnatural it felt for Nova not to be at Chimney's side. When it was time for Tarao to go, we agreed to meet up again the next day and disbanded the party. I decided to try talking to Nova again, if he was still around. Fortunately, he was in Makanu. After I apologized for bothering him so many times, I asked, "What was the cause of your fight?" "Did Chimney say we were fighting?" Nova asked gruffly. No, I can tell just by looking." He sighed. "You're right about that," Nova murmured apologetically. "What'd you fight about?" "This," he said, pointing at the ground next to his feet. "Huh?" "We fought about the world," Nova admitted. "There are all kinds of rumors going around about this game being dangerous, right? So, I guess I thought we should go ahead and distance ourselves from it." The moment he said that, all the things I was going to say about reconciliation and not fighting dried up. The BBS was overflowing with rumors, some that were way off, like that hackers were passing around a visual drug that puts you in a coma if you saw it, and others that were pretty much true, like there were unbeatable monsters that would leave you comatose if you didn't run away in time. And even disregarding the rumors that were obvious things, like the system disorders and the broken graphics that were popping up throughout the world. It was only natural for Nova to want to distance himself. Chimney's the type of guy who likes sticking his nose in dangerous situations, Nova said. No matter how much I warn him, he just doesn't get it. That does sound like Chimney, I admitted. Doesn't it? Nova said. It's not exactly like I said we should quit this game. I just want to avoid dangerous places, but he doesn't get it. What if you tried talking to him again? What would be the point? The way things are, we just end up fighting again. That's true, but it still felt wrong, the two of them not together. But is it selfish of me to think that? Not really. People play games, 'cause they're fun, right? Nova said. But playing while you live in fear of what a bunch of nasty rumors say isn't that great. Ugh, am I overanalyzing this? I shook my head. No, I don't think you are. I understood the thrill of flirting with danger, but as someone who was keenly aware of the facts, I thought it seemed like an extremely perilous course of action. I have a feeling that Chimney will eventually meet up with one of those rumored monsters, Nova said in a low voice. I agreed. The contamination of the world was spreading daily. Even if you didn't go in search of data bugs, there was a good chance you'd encounter one someday. And if you did go chasing after them, Nova continued, I think to myself that I couldn't bear for that to happen when I wasn't around, but I'm afraid for myself. I understood that fear, and I understood the desire to flee. I was so pathetic, Nova muttered, and I just stayed quiet. It felt like if I opened my mouth, the whole truth would just come spilling out, so I didn't say anything at all. Why would you not want to say the whole ass truth, bro? I don't know. I mean, there's a way to tell the whole ass truth and not be, blunt about it, but still, man, come on. After I logged out, some time passes. After I logged out, I looked at the family photo next to the computer. If only I hadn't chosen those keywords that fateful day, my brother would still be able to smile like he did in the picture. I'm sorry, Fumikazu, I said, running my fingers over the edge of the frame, then crawled into bed. And then some time passes. Yoo-hoo! Here we go again today with the big ol' capital O _ capital O. Oh no, it's not that. Oh my god. That's not what he's doing. He's doing something else that's, just as silly. He's doing this. Oh, it doesn't. They're not the same size anymore, so that wouldn't work. So apparently, on older computers, or at least in different fonts, the greater than symbol, the sort of mouth-like shape is open wider, so that it matches the top arc of the so that it matches the either end of the parentheses of the open parentheses. So it was basically like that, but it was basically like that, but think of the greater than and less than symbols as being open wider and matching the open and closed parentheses to make eyes. It's very odd looking, but I really like it. It's a cool idea. I just wish the font matched. Okay, here we go again today. When I logged in the next day, I got Chimney's flash mail. You said it. I'm with Tarao at the item shop. What about you? I'm heading over there now, then. I have a feeling that Chimney will eventually meet up with one of these rumored monsters. Nova's words echoed in my mind. I shook my head to fight off my anxiety as I walked to the item shop. I can't be faint-hearted. If something does happen, since I'm the experienced one, it'll be up to me to handle it. Once I met up with them, we immediately formed a party. Shall we go to Delta Bottomless Fated Judgment today? Tarao proposed. Sure thing, Chimney said. So we walked to the Chaos Gate and warped there. Once we got to the field, Tarao drew in a deep breath. Huh? The scene spread out before us was a far cry from the world we thought we'd inherit. It's a far cry from the way we thought we'd share it. You can almost see the current flowing. You can almost hear the circuits blowing. Sorry, that's some 90s era Rush for you. I fucking love that song, bro. Pariah dogs and mourning and madman barking at strangers and speaking in tongues. Oh, it's such a great. It's called Far Cry. It's a beautiful song. One day I feel I'm ahead of the wheel, and the next it's road. Nope. One day I feel I'm on top of the world, and the next it's falling in on me. I can get back on, I can get back home. One day I feel I'm ahead of the wheel, and the next it's rolling over me. I can get back on, I can get back home. Oh my god, that's such a fucking good song. I need to sing that on stream one day. I need to do another fucking karaoke stream, goddammit. Anyway, distractions aside. The scene spread out before us was a far cry from any of the areas we'd visited with him so far. The sky was riddled with large fissures, littered with glowing green progressions. Scorch marks were scattered across the ground at our feet, and within them yellow strings of text were visible. This field had once been a desert, but it had now taken on an atrocious appearance. "This is amazing," Terrell said. "Don't you think we should find good items here?" I couldn't believe my ears. Huh? "The field is totally different from the ones we went to before," Terrell said, nodding to himself. "Of course there will be good items." "You're an interesting one, Terrell," Chimney said nonchalantly, "but I certainly couldn't bring myself to agree." "Why is that?" Terrell asked Chimney. "The graphics look like that because they're broken in this area," Chimney said. "Oh well, I don't feel like going back," he smiled. What the fuck? Oh, Chimney said that, okay. "I've got a bad feeling about this, Star Wars." "Can't we go somewhere else?" I asked anxiously. Chimney answered like nothing was going on. "It's just broken graphics. There's no need to go anywhere else. But if you go to the server above this, fields like this all over the place. Oh, fields like this are all over the place, so what's there to worry about?" I wasn't sure myself. I hadn't been to Delta server in so long. I didn't know what the state of the contamination was here. "Anyway, let's go," Chimney called and took off running. Even as I kept quiet and internalized my anxiety, I jogged after him through the contaminated field. We tripped portals and fought monsters like normal, and then Chimney pointed to a hill. Is that one over there the last portal?" "Let's go," Terrell said. He readied his twin blades and approached the glowing sphere. The instant it was triggered, my eyes opened wide at what emerged. "There it is," Chimney cried out excitedly, running up to the monster before Terrell could even get to it. With a skull in its right hand and a sword in its left, the headless monster before us was clad in shiny green hexes. Its name was an illegible scrambled string. There was no question about it. A data bug. "Run!" I yelled, still some distance away. Terrell came over to where I was and asked curiously, "Why?" "That's one of the monsters from the rumors." "The monster that does not lose hit points?" "Right." Terrell considered. "But Chimney..." As Terrell hesitated, Chimney called out happily, "I finally found one!" "Chimney!" I cried, but he paid no heed and cut into the monster. "I said we should run," I yelled at him. "That's the monster the rumors are about," Chimney grinned, and I finally found it. Wouldn't it be a shame not to give it a go? Oh my god, this fucking moron. Ah, yeah, son of a bitch. Oh, I bumped my fucking ingrown toenail. Motherfucker, dude. Mother trucker, dude. That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick. That somehow helps. Chimney grinned, and I've finally found it. Wouldn't it be a shame not to give it a go? Oh, okay. He hacked at it some more with his blade. I obviously wasn't getting through to him. What should I do? I can't win against this thing. I had to move, to do something, but I was paralyzed at that thought. Chimney's level must have been pretty high by then, but normal attacks from even high-level characters had almost no effect on databugs. Chimney's hit points decreased every time he was attacked, but the databug's hit points meter was showing no sign of change. At this rate, it was obvious he would lose. "Tarao," I said, "go back to town now." "Huh?" "Get out of here," I ordered. "There's something I have to do here." "But you might fall into a coma if you lose, right?" "I just have to not lose," I said grimly. Beside me, Tarao readied his twin blades. "I will fight too." Uh-oh. "Tarao, at your low level, there's no way you can dent that thing. And you don't even have the magic to act as support. But you'll just get in the way, so go back to town now." I wasn't able to look him in the face as I said that. I only meant to keep him from being injured, but I knew my words hurt him. Tarao backed away, then turned and ran, warping back to town. Once I made sure he was gone, I joined in the attack on the databug, keeping an eye on the status of Chimney's hit points. There was no way he could beat it. We could beat it, but I had a lot of recovery items. I could prolong our lives for quite a while. All I had to do was persuade Chimney to escape before the items ran out. Good luck, girl. At my side, Chimney unleashed attack skill after attack skill. Hayabusa! But the databug received no damage at all. "Chimney, I said we should run," I yelled. "I've got a lot left in me yet," Chimney said, "but thanks for the backup." "I'm not backing you up so you can fight," I cried. "It's so you can escape with your life." The databug swung its sword, sending both Chimney and me to the brink of death. I hurriedly used recovery items, but they were disappearing like I was throwing them away. "Close one, thanks for the recovery." Chimney grinned and renewed his attack. "Chimney, we might fall into comas." "We might, but we might not," he called back. Oh my god, this fucking little bitch. Maybe it's pointless no matter what I say. My spirits were completely crushed, and just when Chimney's hit points were about to drop to nothing, the databug's sword slashed down at him and completed the job. His hit points meter read a big fat 0, and his character lost all color and stopped moving. "You're kidding me." I stood there dumbfounded until the databug's sword stabbed at me mercilessly. Somehow I withstood the attack, operating the controller with shaking hands. I'm supposed to have a resurrect here somewhere. I laid all my hopes on the item for reviving a single-player character, and used it on Chimney. With no time to even see if it worked, I set about recovering my own hit points. "What's with this thing?" I heard Chimney say and turned back to him. His stats had completely recovered. "You don't go comatose if someone in the party is still alive?" I couldn't explain what was going on, but we still had no way to win. Desperate now, Chimney attacked the databug more fiercely than ever. "I said it's dangerous," I yelled again, trying to interpose myself. I don't think that's a word. Trying to interpose myself. But before I could get there, a familiar blade master cut in between them, and the monster with a shout. And it felt like time began to pass very slowly. Chimney stared blankly at the newcomer, then lowered his sword. "Nova, what are you doing here?" "Never mind," Nova said. "Just run." "Why? Are you stupid or something?" Nova said, striking at the monster. "This thing isn't losing any hit points, but even then, Chimney did not move. If you're defeated, you'll end up in a coma." Chimney shrugged and started whacking away with his sword. "It got me once, but I'm fine. Stop messing around and get the hell out of here," Nova yelled, still fighting. "But if we're all defeated, we might end up in comas," I whispered. "What?" "Like when my brother was defeated. He was alone." My doubt was nearing conviction. "Let's run away, now," Chimney grinned. "It's just a rumor. He took a few more jabs." "Oh, it's just a rumor. He took a few more jabs." Something snapped inside me. Forgetting to use my recovery items on Nova and Chimney, I whispered, "It's no rumor. That was something I knew better than anyone, and the last thing I wanted was for them to end up like Fumikaze." "It's not a freaking rumor!" At my hysterical yell, Chimney and Nova froze and looked at me. "That's why we should run," I shouted, and without going into any detail, I backed well away from the battle. Okay," Chimney said hesitantly, and in that instant, the databug's sword swung down upon him. "Oh no!" There was no way I could get there in time to block, but Nova's sword clashed up to parry as he put himself between Chimney and the monster. "Hurry, run!" he cried. Chimney backpedaled at last and sheathed his weapon. However, Nova made no move to escape. "What about you?" Chimney called to him. "I'll be along soon," he said, trading a few more blows with the monster. I shook my head forcefully. "If we were running, we should all run. I can't leave you here," I yelled. "Chimney, do like we always do," Nova ordered. "You got it," Chimney said and warped out. And since I was in the same party as him, I was gated back as well by force. "No!" I cried, trying to shake off the warp rings as they coiled around my character. But no matter what frantic movements I made on my controller, they amounted to nothing. The image of the Databug and Nova battling it out vanished from before my eyes. Some time passes. Why did you leave Nova behind?" I yelled at Chimney as we arrived back in town. He didn't respond. "You knew you were leaving him in danger. How could you do that?" "Because he'll be all right." I couldn't look him in the eye. Staring down at the ground with the Chaos Gate at my back, I whispered, "I have to go help him." But the second I turned around, I bumped into a familiar blue suit of armor. "I knew he'd be all right," Chimney said, smiling. "Nova, how did you get away?" I was so happy that he was safe. I got all bleary-eyed. "Nova's good at getting away," Chimney chirped, like he'd forgotten how close he'd just come to death. "Whenever we flee back to town, he acts as a decoy." "You understand, though, right?" I said slowly. He was in danger. Chimney shrugged. "I understood we couldn't win." Nova poked him in the head. "You idiot," he said, and the smiles overflowing on their faces reflected my own relief and happiness. "Wait here a moment," Chimney said. "I'm going to go apologize to Torau." He disappeared into town. Behind me as I watched him go, Nova asked in a quiet voice, "Hey, how come you sounded like you were so sure that what you said back there?" "What do you mean?" I said guardedly. "I've been giving this a great deal of thought myself," Nova said, "about why sweet little Black Rose knows irregular player characters." "There's no reason," I said. "If you were playing regularly," Nova said, "there would be no reason." "You think?" How can I avoid this topic? Nova put a hand on my shoulder. "I'd say you're in the world for a different reason than we are." Heat built up in my chest, and I couldn't find any words. "Wouldn't a normal person run from a monster that couldn't be beat?" Nova said. "No one would have blamed you if you had." If you put it that way," I said, "wouldn't a normal person not have come to help?" "Oh, how'd you get there anyway?" Nova rubbed the back of his neck. "I caught sight of you three earlier, and then just when I was thinking about striking out on my own, that white-haired guy who was with you showed up at the Chaos Gate alone. I thought that was odd, so I asked him what was going on, and he said there was a weird monster. A normal person wouldn't have come just for that," I said. He shrugged and smiled. "I was confident I could get away." "Thanks, bud." But think about what wouldn't have happened. No, but think about what wouldn't have happened if you didn't. I prodded. "That's true," he said. "Sorry to worry you." I looked away. "Yeah, about before. I won't dig any deeper," Nova said. "You must have your reasons. It's just that I think of you as a pal, so I don't want you doing anything crazy." "Yeah." His words pierced my heart. "Sorry." "Whoa, don't cry," Nova said, waving his hands. It's like I'm a bad guy or something." No, I assured him. "Sorry for keeping quiet for so long." "For so long?" Sure, as if you're not going to keep quiet from here on, too." Nova jabbed me in the shoulder with a finger. "I'm just amazed I noticed it." "What do you mean?" "Let's just call it insight," Nova said, and smiled. I was dying to ask just how much he noticed, but his lighthearted mood dissuaded me. I was just thankful that he wasn't going to ask any pointed questions. At that point, one of the irregular player characters Nova was talking about, a twin blade whose clothes were a shade of red normally impossible to select, waved to me from across the square. "Black Rose, is now a good time?" I looked to Nova. "You go on," he said. "I'll deal with Chimney from now on." "Sure." "I might not be of any use in what you're doing," Nova told me, "but if you ever want to just play normally, then call me anytime. Though I might not be here." He smiled. "Thanks," I told him sincerely. "I'll be going then." I bidded farewell to the first friend I had met online, promising myself that someday the world would be safe for us to go adventuring in again. I headed to where the comrades with whom I shared a common purpose awaited me. To be continued. Hey, we finished it at 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Oh. There's all these really cute little sketches. Expression collection, yeah, pouting, serious during battle. The smiley face, the fucking embarrassed face, putting up with Terajima. The fucking fake ass smile. Oh, it's so good. Mia's too broken. Elk in like a fangirl position. Hilarious. Design is plenty detailed to make her moving. Oh yeah, that's right. Ryoko Terajima is a similar class to a character from the Dot Hack Sign anime called Subaru. Their outfits are similar, but Subaru's hair is blue and Terajima is blonde. I get the feeling her design is plenty detailed to make her move in the anime. She has a lot of detailed areas, but maybe her overall design is simple. Maybe. Oh, that's Tarao's thing. Chimney. I swear, Chimney looks like a fucking femboy, cause like they look androgynous at the very least. They look super androgynous. Fucking Hagia. Looking like he's going to jump up and down on stage. She spent her time at home wearing a sweatsuit like this. There's a lot of different what's the word? There's a lot of different character sketches of like Akira and her friends outside of the game. Asaoka has a high-class feel about her, so there's nothing about this that doesn't suit her. It is odd. Yeah, because apparently, according to the artist, Asaoka dresses in Lolita fashion, which is just fucking adorable. But Akira dresses in like the most butch-ass thing in like sports attire. That's so funny to see. And that's it. Oh wow, an advertisement for Love Hina. Fan service novel style. Oh my god, they made a light novel adaptation of Love Hina. That's so goofy. All right. Closing that out. Oh, the first time it's popped up in a while. There we go. Okay. Let us put that music back on, for one. Put me on your brand new record album. Alright. Alright, so let's see who's on and who we can raid, shall we? Hey, Morgie's on! Backpack Hero. Oh, Keeks is on, but I don't think I have enough viewers to raid her. Oh, the Valdi's here though! Let's go raid the Valdi. But for now, bye-bye, VOD watchers.